Welcome back to First Issues. Even though jobs are a trade-off between employer and employee for services rendered versus money tendered, the success of a company depends on the caliber of staff that work there, the people. That presence is what brings money to an institution, the organization, or any company. While going through tough economic times, staff is usually the first to bear the brunt of it all, with salary cuts, job losses, or even unpaid leave. However necessary, this can be drastic. In light of this, how can staff be better supported by leadership during tough economic times? What considerations need to be made? Our guest this evening is Managing Partner at Grant Thornton Kalyanaraman Vijay. Let us talk about people in relation to our resilience wheel for companies, right? In the case of stress or de-stress, where does the first consideration go? Is it the shareholders or the employees?
There is no doubt about it. People. Now, people includes everyone. Again, there's no doubt about it. But very important to understand that different segments of an organization have different level of affordability as well. So that way, I would say it is the employees who get the top priority in the current scenario. My view is you do not have to completely kill the organization and pay the employees. That's not the thing. It's very important. The organization as a whole is the most important thing to protect. In that process, to understand that employees are the most important ingredient for a success of an organization. So what would an employee go through typically in a scenario is a bit of stress in the mind to say, what am I going to do if I don't get paid? What if I lose my job? What if I'm not able to come back like this? How am I going to take care of my kids? And these are all these things. When the thoughts come through, the pressure increases, their performance goes for a toss. So it's a cycle. So it's quite important to give clarity to the employees and give that assurance. They must be able to trust. It's a two-way process. It's not a one-way process. If an employee sits folding their hands and says everything will happen to me, I think it's a fault from the employee's point of view also. A good alignment in terms of good trust between the employer and employee, communicate frankly and freely, share with them the real scenario, and make sure that they have a reasonable understanding of what's ahead of them. On the same note, it's equally important for the employees also to come up to the current situation and say that they need to pull up their sleeves and start delivering than just thinking that God will take care. That really doesn't work. You know, there is a saying which says work is worship. So it's very important for them to be passionately connected with the employer and make sure that the firm is successful. So it's a vicious cycle. Everything happens well when every segment in an organization coordinates pretty well as such. So in crux, I'm not saying that a shareholder's a management employee is not important in any standards. They are very, very important for the success of the organization. They also have the same kind of expectations in terms of their salary and things like that. It's very important to look at where there is a need for rationing. We just have to keep in mind the level of sustenance as well of various segments within an organization.
As far as employees are concerned, what do we particularly need to understand, especially about the dynamics of company ownership?
Most important thing I would say is trust. There is just no justification when trust is not there. I would say when you don't trust, why do you remain in a job? When you don't trust, you being unreal, assuming that somebody else is unreal. So it's very important to trust the system. When something is not happening properly, yes, there are times people don't have the confidence to express their views. I think that is something for the management to create an atmosphere where people can express what's running within their mind. When these function well, I think problems will be seen more as opportunities than as problems. to be honest. So that is my view from an employee perspective or from an employer perspective.
This program was brought to you in association with First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?